strongest radio allowable by law. The field. Myths dispelled. From the studio gym where excuses never apply. It's Superhuman Radio with your host, Carl Lenore.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Superhuman Radio. Today is Wednesday, which means we'll be doing our Science for Humans in just a moment with Dr. Jeff Golini. And then after that, at the bottom of the hour, I'm going to explore the USDA food database with those of you who are not aware of what it is. Many of you may be taking supplements that you don't really need to be taking. And the only way to find that out is to look at the stuff you're currently eating. And we're going to do that today. I'm going to take you step by step through the process of using the website. I promise you it's probably the most valuable website you will ever find in your life that you're either not using or you don't know how to use or you didn't know existed. And so we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But first,
this is Science for Humans with Dr. Jeff Golini.
Dr. J, how you doing, man?
Hey, good. Facebook Live today. Love it.
Yeah. So, take advantage of the technology. I'm paying for this platform. I might as well use it. I'm not really thrilled with it yet. There's certain latency in the video today, and there's no rhyme or reason, but I have to figure that out later on. So today's discussion is about something that's probably counterintuitive in this audience. So where most people have to be tricked and chided into actually going to the gym, I would venture to say that the people in this audience have to work very, very, very hard to take off from the gym, to actually take time off. I think that everyone knows that the body grows and the body recovers and the body moves forward when we're not in the gym. And we all pay lip service to it. We all know it. But I don't really think enough of us actually utilize this very powerful anabolic tool that I have just discovered just by chance recently. So, and I'm not talking about athletes here. I'm not talking about pro bodybuilders right, where you don't have an off season because you got to change that physique where you were back in the day. I'm talking if you're not a pro athlete, that you should be at least resting a third of as often as you train. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that for whatever reason, people have gotten into the mindset that the more you do, the faster you're going to make gains. I mean, I remember even back in my early days, we used to lift Monday through Friday. That was just what we did. We worked in a high school gym, and we'd be in there after school, 3:30, and we'd finish up sometimes 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. I got no idea what we were doing for all those hours, but we were lifting. But people think that, if they train arms, 4 times a week, that they're going to grow faster. And you hit the nail on the head. It is actually more important to rest than actually getting into the gym because you can be counterproductive with your gains.
So recently, life. When you're an adult and you don't have the luxury of all you do is train, sleep, eat, and get up and do it again when you're a young man like you were when you were pro. But when you have children, you have family, you have businesses, and you have responsibilities, getting to the gym, while it is very, very important, sometimes it gets pushed back. It's inevitable. And so a couple of weeks ago, I visited a friend that I haven't seen in 30 years, and I was up in Middleburg, New York. And there's nothing up there, no internet, no cellular telephone services, nothing, and definitely no gyms. And I said to myself, I'm taking these 4 days off. I'm not going to think about training. I'm taking off. Now, I've been nursing some injuries. I ended up coming home and only training 2 days the following week. So that means I was off for 5 days. I'm telling you something. I'm leaner. I haven't lost any muscle. In fact, I feel like I can contract my muscles harder. I like my chest, all of a sudden, I just noticed it's like I can really contract my chest. And I normally can't do that. Just there's some magic in taking off that none of us are really leveraging here.
Well, you so deplete, this is where it comes into the whole food thing. People are afraid of carbohydrates. That glycogen is what gives you that full feeling. And when you are overtraining, again, you've got nothing going toward fueling that toward the pump. I even remember, again, in my bodybuilding days, during the season when you were getting ready for a show, it was 3 on, 1 off. I mean, you never missed that off day, and it was a rest day. You didn't even look at the gym or go anywhere near it. But after a contest, I would always take some time off, and then I would get on a rebound because, you rebound after those shows, but I would only train 4 days a week, and it would be more like a power lifting regimen where I would only do one part a week. And it would be something like Monday, Tuesday, rest Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rest Saturday, Sunday. And I did some of my best growing training less than I did training 6 days a week.
So for a short period of time, I actually tried a 1 day on, 2 day off routine. And this is when I was training more for strength than what my physique looked like, because I was still carrying a considerable amount of body weight at this time. And I got stronger training 1 on and 2 off. And I'm just wondering how many people in the audience, if you truly say your goal is progress, and you recognize that your lack of taking enough time off is actually stalling your progress, would your neurotic brain override that and get you to the gym every day anyway, knowing that you could be progressing faster and easier by just taking 3 days off and training 4, or taking 4 days off and training 3? How many people would actually have the courage to do that?
You hit the nail in the head. It's a psychological thing because, you have the people that are so strict that missing a workout, and that's how I was. You would never miss a workout. I mean, that just wasn't even said. I don't care whether you were traveling. I remember traveling overseas and, freaking out because, all right, I'm going to be in the plane for 2 days. What do I do? Can't work out, but you got to train your brain. And the best way to train it is go away, go to the mountains for 5 days and don't live, and watch how refreshed you come back. Your injuries are going to be healed, and watch the workout that you have that week. It's going to put a whole new frame of mind into your training that, I now tell people every 6 months, you should take a week off, not only, physically from the gym, but mentally. Because, a lot of people use the gym as a social gathering. So therefore, that's why they don't make any gains, because they aren't really going there to work. But again, you just need a break from that whole atmosphere,
So I have to give a shout out because my youngest daughter, my youngest child, Sydney Lenore, is watching the show today. And she's agreeing with us because Sydney's in the gym a lot now. One of the gifts I think that I can honestly say came from me is the fact that Sydney likes to go to the gym and train. And the reality is that this is where women get it better than men. So men, we believe in, you got to get up and grind. Oh, you got to get up and grind. You got to get up and grind. You got to get up and grind. And you live with your foot on the gas pedal for so long that the constant stress actually starts working against you. Women get it before men. Like Elisa. Elisa never overtrains. She trains. She takes days off. There's no ego in it. You said ego before too. There's no ego in it. It's not like, I got to go in there and crush the weights today. I got to do it again tomorrow. I got to do it tomorrow. No, something about men's egos overtakes sensibility, keeps them from leveraging time off. And then something that is a big pet peeve of yours, I know yours is, that the younger people, and we would have been guilty of it too, probably, had I been into bodybuilding and powerlifting when I was young. But they want to party on the weekends on top of it. They want to crush their bodies during the week. And then they want to be out all night, two or three nights in a row, drinking and boozing it up. And they think that they're going to make progress.
I actually can no longer keep my mouth shut when somebody says to me, I just had a crappy workout. I was out drinking all weekend. And I just got to go, you know what? You're an idiot. why do you even come to the gym? Why are you telling somebody? What are you trying to prove? You're never going to make it. And these are usually people who want to be bodybuilders. And I'm like, go find something else to do. You don't have the discipline to do it. Plus, my Truth About Your Testosterone book tells us that, alcohol contains hops, which is high in estrogen. I mean, so again, you wonder why you aren't putting on muscle. But I'm going to tell you something that I've learned. I think it just comes with age. Remember when we were younger, they said the older you get wiser. Well, it is true. What do you do on a Monday when you're supposed to work out and you are just so stinking tired? I'm going to tell you what I do. I don't train, because if I go in and try to work out on that Monday, it will be the worst workout, and I won't get anything accomplished. I would rather take Monday off and just switch my training days. So Tuesday would not be a training day, and then I would just move an extra training day that week. I found that all the days I try to go in and force myself to work out, it's a waste of time, because you usually aren't going to do anything. You can't handle weights. Maybe you didn't eat properly the day before. The other day, I was supposed to have some clients into town, and they ended up canceling. So I didn't bring any food because I was expecting to go with them. And I'm like, I didn't have any carbs. I didn't hardly have any food. So how can I go train? It's going to be a worthless workout.
So look what my daughter Sydney just posted.
What's that?
She says, I feel like women don't feel the need to perform as much in the gym, more focused on results after gym at home or out. Men more so focus on putting on a show at the gym, maybe. And this is accurate from an evolutionary standpoint. When you look at the rooster, the male is the one doing all the dancing and showing his feathers, and the woman is just. So this is probably deep-seated in our DNA, in men's DNA, that when we get a chance to display our strength, that's an opportunity for us to tell the world, hey, check me out. And so she's probably right about that. And that's what women don't have. Women go to the gym and train for themselves. Sometimes I feel like guys go to the gym and train for other guys.
Yeah, they do. I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, again, because back in the 80s when the gym scene became cool, remember all the sports clubs and stuff, that's where people went to pick up other people. I mean, they had the protein bars. And, to me, that was cool. I mean, people thought it was sleazy and terrible, but I'm like, what a better way to meet somebody, with someone with the same goals that you have.
Yes, that's healthy-minded, that likes the same things you do. And you don't want to go to a bar. You don't want to pick up a girl at a bar.
But see, I think women still do the same thing, because the way women dress when they go to the gym, they go there for themselves. Yes, I agree, to work out, but they go there to put on a show too. Now the guys some of them do. Yeah, the guys put on same with guys. But the guys, I think, they're always competing. If somebody's got 315 on the squat rack, the next guy's got to put more on, and he's got to hoot and holler, and pretty soon everybody's hooting and hollering, and
I am so guilty of this. I am so guilty of this, and I'm going to admit it. My name is Carl Lenore, and I have a problem. And my problem is that when I go to the gym, my ego comes in with me. I've caught myself when I was still training extremely heavy. I was younger. Maybe I was just turned 50. And I remember going to the gym, and I had just trained back the day before. I had done lots of heavy deadlifts, and a friend of mine was deadlifting. And I literally stood up there on the cardio, on the treadmill. We'll do my 10 minutes of warm-up cardio, contemplating not training chest that day, but going and training back with him, because I knew I could deadlift a lot more than him. I'm being honest. I'm being real. There's a lot of people out there who've had these same thoughts and experiences, but they won't admit it because it makes them sound like a douche. Well, I'm that douche. I'm that guy. I'm the ego guy. That's me.
All guys, we all want to compete. I mean, if you have a training partner, what are you doing? You're competing with the training partner. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, I think that's the competitiveness in our male DNA.
Yes.
But that also leads to, okay, I got to get one step ahead because my training partner is taking tomorrow off. I'm going to train. I'm going to make more progress. But injuries. I think also from overtraining. That's one of the main reasons I think people get injured is because those muscles just aren't recovered yet, the tendons are still sore, you go in and bam, you know. Yeah.
I mean, I've torn 4 hamstring attachments so far. Bicep, and then obviously my tricep had to be reattached. And I'm that guy that I feel tired, but I'm just going to dose some caffeine and get into the gym. And Adele Musa did a great blog post talking about how avid caffeine users are almost always overtrained. And that's because the caffeine takes your body hostage when you should be, when you would have been resting. You would have said, I'm not going today. You go in and you train anyway. I want to take a break. And you told me something off the air that I've never heard before that I want to talk about when we come back. Okay. And that is Ronnie Coleman's use of caffeine. Okay?
All right.
So we're going to take one quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more Science for Humans. Stay tuned. Do you know how to properly use carbohydrates to ignite your performance in the field and in the gym? You will now, thanks to this free book by EFX Sports. The Carb User's Guide for Maximum Performance reveals why omitting carbohydrates from your diet can totally crush your gains. Ever wonder how many grams you need for your specific sport? Not anymore. We give you the critical number you need to dominate your competition. You'll even discover the super carb that's taking the athletic world by storm. You must try it to believe it. Go to getcarbolin.com/carb guide today and get your copy absolutely free. Once again, it's getkarbolin.com/CARBGUIDE.
If you suffer from abdominal bloating, relief is here. Introducing
Atrantil.
Developed by a board-certified gastroenterologist, it relieves bloating where it starts, in the small bowel. That's why
Atrantil
works while other remedies don't. In clinical trials, 88% of bloating sufferers who use prescription medications with no relief found
Atrantil
relieve their symptoms, and it's available without a prescription because
Atrantil
is made from a patented molecular combination of botanical extracts. It's not a probiotic. Plus, it's natural, vegan, gluten-free, and non-GMO.
Atrantil.
Atrantil. Even the name is proven to make you feel better.
Go to lovemytummy.com and use code SHR for 10% off. That's code SHR at lovemytummy.com. Lovemytummy.com.
Hey, this is Carl. Start your day just like I do with a high-dose lipospheric vitamin C from Live On Labs. You too can benefit from Live On Labs' lipospheric delivery system. No more pills or powders. That's outdated technology. Live On Labs has the world's most efficient vitamin delivery system, period. Learn a lot more today at liveonlabs.com and benefit from their new reduced pricing. That's liveonlabs.com, LIVON labs.com.
If you followed my transformation on Facebook, you've been wondering what I've done to create such dramatic results. One of the things is I've started every day with the Ketogenics Prime and then trained fasted and remained fasted till my first meal at 2 o'clock. Ketogenics Prime gives me all the energy I need while shutting down hunger. And since the ketones are bound to a quad mineral blend, I'm getting all the magnesium, calcium, potassium, and sodium I need to keep my minerals in balance. Try Ketogenics Prime yourself. Go to superhumanradio.com and click the Ketogenics banner ad today and save 25% off your first purchase. Ketogenics Prime. I couldn't have done it without you.
Be dessert again with the new 100% natural line of high-protein, low-carb Quest protein bars. I love lemon cream pie and strawberry cheesecake, but you can choose from chocolate peanut butter, coconut cashew, or cinnamon roll as well. No matter which one you try, you'll feel like you're eating dessert. But this is no ordinary dessert. With 20 grams of high-quality whey protein isolate, 17 grams of prebiotic fiber, and sweetened with stevia, these bars will make you feel like you're cheating, but you're not. Go to superhumanradio.com and click the Quest Protein Bar banner ad to learn more about these clean and delicious protein bars.
Now, the #1 best-selling non-hormonal anabolic agent at PredatorNutrition.com. Progenadrex has established itself as the category killer. If you're having difficulty gaining muscle while staying lean, you owe it to yourself to try Progenadrex. 100% of store reviews rated it at 5 stars, the highest possible ranking. And today, right now, there are guys pouring their hearts out in the gym with little or nothing to show for it. Don't waste any more time. Go to PredatorNutrition.com today and get Progenadrex, the world's absolute best drug-free muscle gainer.
Spit that out right now. This is the Superhuman Channel.
Hello. Yeah.
Welcome back.
It's popping.
This is Science for Humans, and we're talking about being a little bit more balanced. Instead of getting up and grinding today, how about getting up and unwinding today? There's something to do. You know, balance will get you to your goals faster. And guess what? If you found out training less would get you to your goals faster, do you have the courage to do it? And if so, do you have the courage to experiment with it, to find out where your sweet spot is for training versus overtraining? So going into the break, I said that I was addicted to caffeine, and my audience knows I've quit caffeine probably 9 times in the past 12 years. It's always the same thing. I start out using a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a lot more, and then before you know it, I'm using 1,500 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous combined a day, and it's not working now anymore either. I'm using it in the morning. I don't feel like going to the gym anyway, and so it's a bad move, and then I have to stop, and then I go through withdrawal for 2 or 3 weeks, and it really sucks. And when I told you this story off the air, you told me that Ronnie Coleman was abusing caffeine in his career.
I think we all were. You know, I mean, again, you know, when you are when the sport of bodybuilding is your profession, you know, you cannot have a bad workout. You know, again, when you're training 6 days a week, like we did, again, that's for a particular reason. We were at a higher level, eating lots of foods, recovering. You can't miss a day. I mean, and we didn't think you could. So caffeine, you know, before I tell you about Ronnie, but you know, we would drink coffee in the morning. I mean, we'd be in the gym at 4 o'clock. I'd be up at, 3, drinking coffee until it got to that level where I would always go, woo, you know, all right, I'm ready to go. Or we were taking caffeine pills or ephedrine pills. I mean, whatever we had to. Well, you know, again, Ronnie, like most bodybuilders, we're trying more and more ways to get that caffeine in. Because, you know, when you drink caffeine, pretty soon, it doesn't work as well. And you got to take more and more. Well, I had heard that he had somebody develop caffeine suppositories because the rectum is similar to like transdermal delivery. I mean, if you can get that caffeine up there, it bypasses the digestive system. Now, I don't know whether it works or, you know, whether that was true, was a pretty reliable source. But I knew that he was, like most guys, you know, caffeine addicts. And as
when
we said,
you look at him, the poor guy. I don't know if you've seen him. I don't know if he's out of the wheelchair now, but he's had some serious lumbar spine compressions where he couldn't walk.
I didn't like.
And I'm not saying that's. And I'm not. I don't want to say that. That's not caffeine. I'm not saying caffeine gave him that. But if the blog post that Adele Musa wrote about caffeine abuse and overtraining is accurate, then it's a surefire way to wear your body out. If your goal is to wear your body out, then abuse caffeine. Absolutely. And, you know, as I learned, drinking coffee, you know, didn't make me tired all day long, you know. But when I took the caffeine pills or, you know, ephedrine or those type of things, I mean, I remember driving and literally falling asleep in the car and running in the back of somebody because it just put my body in such a deficit. Crash.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, you have to be very, very careful. But that's all part of overtraining. I mean, it's not doing things synthetically to get your mind ready. You know, you need to learn how to fuel your body. If your goal is longevity, health, and fitness, then you need to learn how to do it healthy and not whatever I got to do to go in and out squat everybody in the gym today. So if I got to take a bunch of caffeine or I got to go, you know, use some cocaine or, you know, something, again, no, you know, you're going to kill yourself.
That reminds me of the back in the day, and you know about this too because it happened out in California. But all the bodybuilders that were using Nubane because Dan Duchesne told them that they could push through the pain of training, and then they ended up becoming Nubane is like 5 times more addictive than heroin.
Well, that was what it started in the powerlifting realm, because I remember when I powerlifted, you know, all the powerlifters would take some stimulant and then they would take some painkiller. And I remember going to a meet and, you know, again, my stimulant was caffeine. You know, I didn't get into any other drugs or anything like that. But I remember being pretty caffeined up. And my opening, I got hurt on the bench press, And a guy there said, here, take this. It'll get rid of your pain. And I'm like, cool. Pain disappeared. I went in and deadlift. I didn't get my best, but make a long story short, on the ride home, it was about a 3-hour ride home, that painkiller kicked off. I had ruptured and fractured my sternum. And I mean, I had done so much damage where if I would have quit and got ice, I would have been so much better off. It wasn't worth finishing the meet for a stupid trophy. I mean, but that's what happened. Dan Duchesne got those guys into, because they would so overtrain, they now would be using Nubain, Percocets, all of these painkillers to try to get rid of the pain so that they can go back in and overtrain. But let me tell you, nothing against Dan Duchesne because he's deceased, but Dan Duchesne had not a physique. He didn't even look like he worked out, and the people that he trained, the same. There was never anybody good because, again, he didn't know what he was doing. He was too drug-oriented and too over the top.
Yeah. No, I agree. So there's a guy at my gym that I wish he would listen to this show. He's a little bit older than me. He retired from UPS, and I've watched him over the past 8 years now literally whittle his body down. So I saw him in the sauna, and he always asks me questions. Hey, Carl, what do you think of this? But I don't even answer anymore, because no matter what I say, he doesn't take my advice. If I tell him something, he goes, well, I'm doing this. And I'm thinking to myself, how's that working for you? I saw him in the sauna the other day, and he told me he just had a knee replacement done. Now, keep in mind, the guy doesn't have an ounce of body fat on him. But he has literally, he looks like he has a coat hanger in his shirt. He's worn all the muscle. All he does, he doesn't eat enough. He doesn't eat enough protein. He and I have talked about this 1,000 times. He goes into that gym and he trains every day. He does not stop. And then in between training, he's sitting in the sauna. Then he comes back out and he trains more. And then he sits in the sauna. Then he does cardio. Then he sits in the sauna. Then he comes out. And I've literally watched him whittle, like with a knife, whittle his body down. So now his muscles don't even support his joints. He told me he just had his knee replaced. I said, oh, man. I said, I'm so sorry to hear that. He goes, well, I had my hip replaced 6 months ago. I'm like, this guy I used to tell people he's wearing himself out. This is the watching a human wear themselves out. And he doesn't take any time off ever. He never takes it. He's always in there. He's always in there. Yeah. He's actually like neurotic about training.
This is like anorexia, we'll have to come up with a new name for it. But lifting weights is the same thing. People either take it to the extreme where, again, it all comes down to goal. You have no goals. You think, okay, when I get to 150, I now want to get to 130. And I mean, eventually you're going to get to zero. I mean, be happy at a goal. And the same thing with gaining. I want to get down to my original weight, Dr. Jeff, 9 pounds, 12 ounces. Yeah, but that's how it happens. People's brains, they become sick, and they, I mean, I see it with young kids now. I can't tell you how many young kids are afraid of gaining weight, and they're actually have some type of anorexia, and it's terrible because they're going to kill themselves at that age. But again, it's wrong information, listen to the wrong people, and not listening. Like you, I hate when somebody asks me for advice and they really don't want my advice. I don't even know why they ask me, because they know I'm not going to agree with them. But I think they're trying to find someone who will say, oh, yeah, I agree with you. Not me, man.
Right. Hey, I want to give the final message of this, and then I want to ask about how Supplement Santa went last week. So here's the message in today's show. Try experimenting with taking more time off. The way you focus on switching loading pattern, German loading pattern 6 and 5 reps to 5. Start going, this week I'm going to train 4 days and rest 3. Next week I'm going to train 3 days and rest 4. Let me see. Look for the indicators of overtraining, right? Early morning, rapid heartbeat, loss of libido. Guys don't get this. If you notice that your wood in the morning isn't as normal, you may be close to overtraining, because one of the first things that happens when you get overtrained is testosterone levels just plummet. Look for the signs of overtraining. Start experimenting with time off. What if you could, in fact, make better gains than you're making now by getting into the gym less often? Do you have the courage to put your ego aside and focus on the gains and not on the neuroticism of getting into the gym and training every single day. Do you have that courage? That's the message today. Okay, tell me about Supplement Santa last week.
Hey, it was great. I took several months off and decided just to do December one. Had a huge live show, and then I left it open through the weekend because during the show, I had a whole bunch of questions that I just came up with where somebody could win something. Name Santa's reindeers. What do you want for Christmas? So people who listened to that show had an opportunity to win. So it was great. I think I ended up with something like 2,000 comments. But the grand prize winners won a year's supply of protein, and there were 20 individual winners. They won a free copy of my Mean Lean Muscle book. They got a bottle of BCAAs. Some people got some shaker cups. So it was fun. It was fun.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. And then now next week and the week after, you and I are off because it's the holiday, right?
We're going to take a little break, and we're talking about taking a break. Our mind, at least my mind, just needs a break from the studio. So I am literally going to take 2 weeks out of the studio. I need to refresh. And again, it doesn't matter whether it's work, you have to take vacations, whether it's training. Rest is good. Rest is good.
No, I agree. And then we come back fresh in the new year when it's important. So you and I will not be spending this time for 2 weeks, but I want to wish you and your family a wonderful, happy, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
And, of course, a prosperous and healthy new year. And if anybody deserves it, you do.
Well, thank you. And the same to you and to all the people listening. Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right, we're going to take one quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to introduce you, if you don't already know about it, to the USDA food database. And I'm going to tell you why you should become intimately friendly with it. You should visit it every single day, at least for the next 3 weeks. And I'm going to tell you why. Stay tuned. Do you know how to properly use carbohydrates to ignite your performance in the field and in the gym? You will now, thanks to this free book by EFX Sports. The Carb User's Guide for Maximum Performance reveals why omitting carbohydrates from your diet can totally crush your gains. Ever wonder how many grams you need for your specific sport? Not anymore. We give you the critical number you need to dominate your competition. You'll even discover the super carb that's taking the athletic world by storm. You must try it to believe it. Go to getcarbolin.com/carb guide today and get your copy absolutely free. Once again, it's getkarbolin.com/CARBGUIDE.
Ever feel like you want something crunchy? From the company that gave us the Quest protein bar, now comes the Quest high protein potato chips with 21 grams of high quality protein and only 5 grams of carbs and no artificial ingredients. Just like Quest bars, you'll feel like you're cheating, but you're not. Go to superhumanradio.com and click the Quest High Protein Potato Chip banner ad today and get ready to be satisfied. Thanks to Quest Nutrition, chips just aren't what they used to be.
There are a few products that I believe in the way I believe in Can-C eye drops. I've been using Can-C for 6 months now, and the changes in my vision are nothing short of amazing.
Wow, that's an old commercial. The truth is I've been using Can-C eye drops for 11 years now, and I credit Can-C eye drops as being the reason that I do not need reading glasses at 58 years old. Can-C eye drops improves the quality and health of your eyes indefinitely. That's why I both use and endorse Can-C eye drops. Go to wisechoicemedicine.com and learn about how Can-C eye drops can improve the health of your eyes and the quality of your vision today.
You've heard about turmeric, and you probably use it. It's one of the most talked about health foods in America. Pure Indian Foods sources certified organic turmeric from small farmers in India. This limited edition turmeric is standardized to contain high naturally occurring curcumin, which is the good stuff you want. It's also lab tested for heavy metals, which you want less of in your food. Psst, don't tell too many people about it. It's limited edition. Get yours today. Go to highcurcuminturmeric.com today to learn more.
4.6 million years of evolution gave us the blueprint for the perfect protein supplement for humans. So why do all protein supplement manufacturers ignore it? We don't. The first human-appropriate protein supplement is Thrive Advanced. Built around the blueprint of mother's milk, Thrive Advanced contains the amino acids, peptides, micronutrients, enzymes, probiotics, and vitamins that support protein absorption and assimilation. All of our dairy proteins come from happy cows on pastures here in the United States and are low heat pasteurized. You'll never find any artificial sweeteners, additives, or ingredients. You won't even find thickeners or gums in Thrive Advanced. And we back up our label claims with post-production lab analysis that's available right on our website. Visit superhumanradio.com and click the Thrive Advanced banner ad and use code SHR and save 50% off your entire order today.
This is the Superhuman Channel, where we use oxygen for the power of good.
Welcome back. So I got up to go to the bathroom, and apparently something stalled in the commercial breaks. So I apologize for that. That'll be edited out of the final version that goes up on YouTube also. Okay, so there's a website I found very, very early in my journey into health and fitness, and it's the USDA food database website. And really, it's really the best. There's a lot of these different app services that include food information that, quite frankly, they get all of their data from this particular website. A lot of people don't know this, but they do. And this particular website is the best place to go to figure out the impact of what you are eating. I'm going to put the website up here, and I'm going to give you the URL in just a second. And then what we'll do is we'll solo this page here. That's what I'm doing now. Things are moving slow for some reason. It's the Be Live TV platform, not me. So this database allows you to search. You'll come down to here. So the URL is ndb.nal.usda.gov/NDB, right? Nutrition database. Or you could just Google USDA nutrition. Nutrition database, and it'll come right up. It's the first one. So you start here, and you click this little thing, start your search. What many of us take supplements. We take, magnesium supplements, because we believe that right now there's this whole big movement that more and more people need to have magnesium in their diet. And maybe that's true for some people. Maybe it's not true for everybody. Maybe it's not true for you. How do you know? Well, the first bit of important information in this discussion is that the average person eats 11 different things every single week, week in and week out. So that's really not a lot of food to do some research on. So what if you took your time and you looked at the 11 foods you eat, and you look at your total caloric consumption, total protein intake, and total mineral and vitamin intake on a weekly basis instead of a daily basis. And really, this is the best way to do it, and it works. If you go to this particular website and you click, and let's say I eat a pound of ground beef. So let me just put the cursor here. Why won't it let me type? Great. So you type in ground beef into this page here. I don't know why it's not working now. It was working before. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you type in ground beef. Okay. I get it. I have a battery problem. Nothing's working right today. You should only know the other problems I had on the show. Why can't I get the D to show up? Oh, there we go. Beef. So if you type in ground beef, you get the idea anyway, right? Okay. And you can then go in and say 85%, and it'll pull up all of the different 85% lean. And just take, I usually like to go with raw, because that gives you the truest numbers. You click that. It gives you the complete breakdown of fat So I eat a pound a day, right? So this is 3 ounces. I'm going to go to 16 ounces over here. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to give me per 16 ounces in this far right hand column, right? So that's going to give me a total protein of 84.27 grams, a total fat of 68 grams. So I can do all that there. Calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, zinc. Okay, all that information is right there, plus vitamins, B12. Keep in mind that animal protein, typically, the vitamin A is in the form of retinol, retinoic acid, retinol palmitate, retinol. It's in retinol. And vegetables, it's usually beta-carotene. This website does not differentiate between beta-carotene and real activated vitamin A. But look, you've got vitamin E, and if there's alpha tocopherol in there, that's the only one they measure. That means all of the other forms of vitamin E are in there. D2 and D3, even vitamin K. A lot of people take vitamin K because they believe that it keeps calcification from taking vitamin D. It's 5.9 micrograms of vitamin K in that beef. So once you find the food that you use, click this little button over here that says download CSV in parentheses. This will download it in a comma delimited format that you can then open up in Microsoft Excel or any database, spreadsheet or database software. So what you do is you go and you find the 11 foods that you eat most often. So for me, it's like mushrooms, peas, beef, chicken, salmon, eggs, oatmeal. I've been eating a little oatmeal again. Spinach, and Jarlsberg cheese. I would put all these in here, and I would download all the different comma delimited database items, and I would store them in a folder, and that folder could be called My Weekly Nutrition. And then take each of them and put them into an Excel spreadsheet, tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, each of them for a different food. You can then create, if you're good at Excel, most of us are in this day and age, you can then create a last page where you take each of these row items, so, vitamin E, protein, fat, that are important to you, and import them onto a final page where it calculates all of it into a final page. So you can then say, well, if I eat 3 pounds of beef a week, I have to times these by 3. If I eat 3 times the servings of peas, I have to times it by 3. You can actually then calculate for the week, a 7-day week, how much magnesium you're getting, how much zinc you're getting, how much potassium you're getting, how much vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin D, protein, carbohydrates, whatever's important to you, fiber. And at the end of the week, you can look and you can say, wow, why am I taking a vitamin E supplement? Look at all the vitamin E I'm getting from my diet. So the process is easy. It's not very, very difficult. I mean, I stalled over here trying to get this thing to run a second ago. But when you start putting your foods in here, food search, let's just see here real quick. If it'll green peas. And I always go for raw. So whenever they give me something like, as you can see, all the different manufacturers have given their data to the USDA. So I just take regular plain old green peas, just plain old green peas, right? And I look at that one instead of getting the fancy ones or the different brands. How much protein, carbohydrates, calcium, iron, sodium. Again, vitamin A. Look at this whopping dose of vitamin A, 429 IUs. But remember, it's beta-carotene. And beta-carotene does not equal vitamin A in many people. Now, carotenoids are very, very important antioxidants. They protect the skin against sun damage and UV damage. So getting enough beta-carotene or carotenoids in general in your diet is important. But just remember, that's not 429 IUs of vitamin A. Okay? That's 429 IUs of beta-carotene or some sort of carotenoid that may or may not ever end up becoming vitamin A. And then your fats and cholesterol and anything else that you're interested in following. And you just go over here and you click download CSV, comma delimited, and save it. Do this for every one of the foods that you eat. And then calculate the whole week's worth of food that you eat and make sure that the supplements you're buying make sense. Do you even really need them? Are you getting enough calcium? You could be getting 10,000 milligrams. You could be getting 10 grams of calcium a week from your diet if you have yogurt in there or any kind of dairy, cheese. I didn't even put my Jarlsberg cheese in there. And then you're going, oh, I got to take my doctor said take 1,000 milligrams of of calcium a day. That's a dumb idea. Doing that is a dumb idea because we know that too much calcium is as bad as not enough calcium. Too much calcium can push you into a heart attack. That research has been done. And then you can go to your doctor and say, you know, doc, I don't think I need a gram of calcium a day. Well, why is that? Look at all the calcium I get in a week. He's going to look at your spreadsheet and go, is this for all the food that you eat every week? And he'll probably say that you're neurotic or you're taking this too seriously. Well, wait a minute. When did science become too serious of a thing to take? I mean, this is all science we're talking about here. Yeah, look at this. Michael Lepelt says, there is no easier way, Carl. The USDA, the USDA tracker database called Super Tracker. It's like MyFitnessPal and uses this database. It has all the micronutrients like you're looking for. Yeah, of course. But the USDA database that I'm talking about does it all as well. So that's all you really, really need because everybody gets their data from this USDA database. That's the funny thing. MyFitnessPal, Fitbit, any of them that have a diet/menu tracking app where you start to spell the name out and it populates. Oh, look at that. They have my particular brand of yogurt I buy. They get it all from this. This is the big kahuna. This is where you want to go. This has the most current data. The USDA does this for free. In fact, you can I don't know if you can anymore. I bet they charge for it. But 15 years ago, you were able to download the entire database as a GZ file, a .gz file, which is more advanced than a normal zip file. You were able to download the entire database, and you could use it for your software if you wanted to. But I have a feeling now that they license it since all these apps have come around. Didn't know that you could download CSV data now. Yes, you can download CSV. You could download it as PDFs. They have a couple different formats now, Amit. So, yes, you definitely can. But this is a must. If you haven't taken the time, now that you know what this is, if you don't take the time to look at the food you're eating, then don't tell me that you're not reaching your goals. Oh, I can't lose weight. Don't tell me that you're not putting on muscle. Don't tell me that the things that you think you're supposed to be doing aren't working because you don't even know what you're eating. Yes, Tony Picus is like me. I love peas. I love pea soup. I love peas. I eat peas every single day as my primary starch. And plus it has a very, very complete protein and hardly anything else, ironically. So I'm with you, Tony, on that one. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about this. But this is an important topic, and you should be using this now that you know what it is. Sit tight.
Know how to properly use carbohydrates to ignite your performance in the field and in the gym? You will now, thanks to this free book by EFX Sports. The Carb User's Guide for Maximum Performance reveals why omitting carbohydrates from your diet can totally crush your gains. Ever wonder how many grams you need for your specific sport? Not anymore. We give you the critical number you need to dominate your competition. You'll even discover the super carb that's taking the athletic world by storm. You must try it to believe it. Go to getcarbolin.com/carb guide today and get your copy absolutely free. Once again, it's getkarbolin.com/CARBGUIDE. Mitochondrial uncoupling is the holy grail of fat loss. Making mitochondria work harder raises body temperature and metabolic rate without the jitters of stimulants. Now there is an over-the-counter mitochondrial uncoupler that will let you shred your body down to the last pounds of body fat. It's Trojan Horse. This is the supplement breakthrough of the decade.
Go to superhumanradio.com and click the Trojan Horse banner ad. Use coupon code SHR and save 20% off your order today. BlackstoneLabs.com. Trojan Horse.
You've heard about turmeric, and you probably use it. It's one of the most talked about health foods in America. Pure Indian Foods sources certified organic turmeric from small farmers in India. This limited edition turmeric is standardized to contain high naturally occurring curcumin, which is the good stuff you want. It's also lab tested for heavy metals, which you want less of in your food. Psst, don't tell too many people about it. It's limited edition. Get yours today. Go to highcurcuminturmeric.com today to learn more.
There are a few products that I believe in the way I believe in Can-C eye drops. I've been using Can-C for 6 months now, and the changes in my vision are nothing short of amazing.
Wow, that's an old commercial. The truth is, I've been using Can-C eye drops for 11 years now, and I credit Can-C eye drops as being the reason that I do not need reading glasses at 58 years old. Can-C eye drops improves the quality and health of your eyes indefinitely. That's why I both use and endorse Can-C eye drops. Go to wisechoicemedicine.com and learn about how Can-C eye drops can improve the health of your eyes and the quality of your vision today. Do you know how to properly use carbohydrates to ignite your performance in the field and in the gym? You will now, thanks to this free book by EFX Sports. The Carb User's Guide for Maximum Performance reveals why omitting carbohydrates from your diet can totally crush your gains. Ever wonder how many grams you need for your specific sport? Not anymore. We give you the critical number you need to dominate your competition. You'll even discover the super carb that's taking the athletic world by storm. You must try it to believe it. Go to getcarbolin.com/carb guide today and get your copy absolutely free. Once again, it's GETKARBOLIN.com/CARBGUIDE. U.S. Wellness Meats is the leader in home-delivered, high-quality animal protein. Grass-fed beef, lamb, bison, and dairy. Plus, wild-caught seafood, heritage pork, and free-range poultry. Everything delivered right to your door within days of your order. There is no one better to supply you and your family with the highest quality pastured meat product and dairy than U.S. Wellness Meats. Save 15% off when you use the coupon code SHR. Go to superhumanradio.com and click the U.S. Wellness Meats banner ad today.
Hey, this is Carl. Start your day just like I do with a high-dose lipospheric vitamin C from Live On Labs. You too can benefit from Live On Labs' lipospheric delivery system. No more pills or powders. That's outdated technology. Live On Labs has the world's most efficient vitamin delivery system, period. Learn a lot more today at liveonlabs.com and benefit from their new reduced pricing. That's liveonlabs.com, Livon labs.com.
Move over, superheroes. This is the Superhuman Channel.
Take your broke ass home. Take your broke ass. If you ain't got no money, take your broke ass home. So, couple updates. Amit Ram says they have an Android app too. I guess the USDA database. Great. Excuse me. That's good news. Make it more accessible to people. So, my good friend, childhood friend, Paul Giordano, apparently got himself the gastric sleeve. He's lost 70 pounds since March. Bravo. And he eats plenty of protein, 80 grams a day. That's not enough protein, Paul. Not enough protein. You'll lose body fat faster if you up your protein. And don't listen to anybody. Unless you actually have kidney disease already, eating more protein will not give you kidney disease. I eat 80 grams of protein per meal. In fact, I had 80 grams of protein as my post-workout meal. And right now I'm cooking a pound of ground beef, which is 65 grams of protein. And 5 pieces of Jarlsberg cheese, which is 35 grams of protein, and then 3 servings of green peas, which has probably another 11 or 12. So I mean, I'm pushing over 100, probably 120 grams of protein in that single meal. You need more protein, Paul, because when you lose weight, you don't want to lose muscle weight. You just want to lose body fat. You need a DEXA scan, DEXA. Ask your doctor to get you a DEXA scan. You need to understand how much muscle you're losing. Because if you lose a lot of muscle, when the sleeve comes off, you're going to put all the fat back on, because muscle is metabolic currency. Muscle is what burns calories. If you lose muscle, then what's going to happen is when you lose all your weight and your doctor takes a sleeve off and you go back up to 1,800 calories a day, 2,000 calories a day, you're going to actually put on body fat from that. You're going to be like, how the hell could this be? Because the muscle you lost is no longer burning calories, so your resting energy requirement goes down. It's like going from an 8-cylinder to a 4-cylinder. You can't buy the same amount of gas week in and week out for a 4-cylinder that you do for an 8-cylinder. And this is going to translate to body fat, my good friend. I don't want to see this heroic effort on your part to get your body back to where it belongs backfire on you. You must increase you should be eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's an easy way to calculate it. So if you're 160 pounds, then you need 160 grams of protein a day. That's about 50% more than you're getting right now, or 100% more. 50% is half. So 100% more than you're getting right now. You need to double it. And you find out that you'll get leaner, but you'll maintain your muscle. And that's the important thing, Paul, because as we age, we need to, the sleeve is permanent. Okay. Well, okay, so there's so many things here that I need to talk about. And Paul is a childhood friend of mine, so I have to spend time because he and I don't really get to talk anymore. Thank goodness for Facebook. The sleeve is permanent. That means that you are at risk of developing nutrient deficiencies as you move forward. So you're going to have to really watch your diet closer. Not eat less, Paul, but eat more of the right things. More protein and more vegetables. Very, very important. Arthritis, Paul, is not a function of body weight. Arthritis is actually a function of whole body inflammation. This is why very, very lean people get arthritis. And this is why people who get arthritis in their neck and their hands. There's no body weight involved in holding your head up or your fingers. So why would you get arthritis in your hands if it's mechanical loading of the spine that causes arthritis? It doesn't. Doctors have it wrong, Paul. You need to look at anti-inflammatory diets. You should be eating salmon 3 or 4 times a week. Absolutely. You should use things like ginger and turmeric when you cook, because these will lower entire body inflammation, keep the arthritis at bay. Don't worry about walking yet, Paul. You know, you got to do things that increase the collagen production in your body to help reverse some of the loss of cartilage and chondrocytes in your knees and your ankles and your hips. So you should purchase Great Lakes is a company that makes an amazing collagen hydrolysate. You should buy that. Take 2 tablespoons of that in the morning and take it with around 60 to 100 milligrams of vitamin C, and that will stimulate collagen production that will replenish the joints that have worn out from the arthritis. Cervical disc. So here you go. Here's my proof, Paul. So cervical disc, this means that you have problems in your neck. That has nothing to do with body weight. That has all to do with the inflammatory cytokines attacking the meniscus in between the joints. So you just proved my point of what I'm saying. You need to increase your protein intake. You need to eat a low inflammatory diet. You need to cut all grains out of your diet. Wheat, corn, soy. You can eat rice. You can eat potatoes if you want starches. But the reality is that you need to shift more to protein and fat and away from starchy carbohydrates, because that's going to lower inflammation. You're going to drop a lot of body weight just from releasing fluid. As inflammation in the body goes down, edema goes down. Edema is water retention in the tissue to try to help it heal. So you piss all that water away. So what you'll know when your diet is right, because in 5 days you'll lose 8 pounds. You go, how did that happen? Well, you just lost a gallon of water. But you really need to look at anti-inflammatory methods of eating. You get your sleep straightened out for sure. If it's not straightened out, PM me and I'll send you some information. But you need to up your protein, Paul. 80 grams of protein a day is not enough. That's not enough. You absolutely really do need to be having maybe one gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's what I do now. I'm not sure what statement you're answering there, but PM me if you want, and I have some books I can send you. I have some stuff I can send you. Here, look at this. Also, Age Force anti-inflammation patch is very, very good. A few months ago, one of your guests explained why inflammation supplements don't work for the inflamed people. Gut bacteria does not allow them to access the bloodstream. This bypasses it. Great, great, great. Okay, so I just want to wrap up this discussion real quick and say that all of you should be using the USDA's nutrition database, food database, and you should be looking at the foods that you eat on a week in and week out basis, and you should look at them on a weekly basis, looking for all of the protein, all of the macronutrients, micronutrients, fiber, minerals, and vitamins that you're getting just in your diet alone. And then look and see what supplements you need. And maybe you don't need supplements. Maybe you need to Google foods that are high in zinc. Let's say you look at your diet and you go, wow, I've got everything covered here. But I'm not getting enough zinc in my diet. So just Google foods high in zinc and add one of those foods before you buy a supplement. Because it's always better to use food sources of this stuff than supplements. But really, I want everybody in this audience this holiday season to take an afternoon out, go to the database, search for the food you eat, download the comma delimited files, put it in an Excel file so it's all tabbed, and look at, yes, that's right. Diego Paparella says liver and oysters. And in fact, I just looked for, I don't have enough zinc in my diet. I do get a lot of zinc from the red meat I eat, but I want more. And I do eat liverwurst. I haven't been eating it lately, so I'm adding liverwurst back to my diet. And oysters. Who doesn't love oysters? But you got to get them from a good source because it's dangerous today. Histamine levels are very, very high in shellfish and clams and mussels and oysters, and they can actually kill you if you're not careful. But everyone needs to go to the database and at least calculate the most common foods that they eat so that they can understand what they are getting from their diet, what they are missing from their diet, what they can eat or add in. So Tony Picus, who's listening live and just commented desiccated liver tabs. They were all the rage back in the day. I believe in them. They're fantastic. He said, he texted me. He says, hey, buddy, I'd love to hear your views on Dr. Sean Baker and his strict carnivore diet. I think Sean's onto something, but I have to say this. If you're going to do it right, you got to eat the whole animal. If you're just eating muscle meat, then you are missing out on a lot of the stuff we're talking about. I mean, if you're not eating the liver, you're not getting the hemi B12. You're not getting the hemi iron. You're not getting the vitamin A and D that's in liver. The real activated vitamin A and D that's in liver. I think that Sean is onto something because he's showing that an all-meat diet will not hurt you. In fact, most people will thrive from the way they were eating before. But I am a strong believer that, and this comes right from Stefansson, Dr. Stefansson, who lived with the Inuit and studied the all-meat diet, a high-fat, high-protein diet. When you only eat lean, which he found out when he was over at Bellevue, you get sick. You've got to get your fat. You've got to get your minerals. You've got to get a lot of the other stuff that you only get from organ meat and from the offal. It's called the offal. That's what they used to call it back in the old day. So I think that Sean has an interesting angle, and I think that it's going to play well, but I think it'll play even better if he starts to look at the whole animal. Michael Lepelt says, micronutrients of concern we see in gastric surgery patients. Oh, that's for Paul Giordano. Thiamine, B12, vitamin D, iron, copper, calcium too. So there you go, Paul. Just eat liverwurst 3 times a week, and you'll have those bases covered. Look at this, Paul. You come to this show, and in a little while, we got you all dialed in. You're going to be healthier than ever in 2018. he says he goes for B12 shots. You don't need B12 shots, especially if they're cyanocobalamin. Find out if you're getting cyanocobalamin, because that's B12 attached to cyanide. Think about that. What is cyanide? It's a poison, right? This guy just killed himself with cyanide in the courtroom not too long ago. You want methylcobalamin, methyl, methylcobalamin if you're getting the shots. But screw all that. Just eat liver 3 or 4 times a week, and you don't need any of that stuff, Paul, because the B12 and the iron that's attached to blood, it's called hemi-B12 and hemi-iron. The body loves that. It knows what to do with it. It puts it right in the liver. So just eat more liver, and you'll be better off. I think we answered all the questions here. Yes, it looks like we did. So, okay, so bottom line is use the food database, please. Thank you, Paul. You should listen more often. You'd be a different person in a year if you just listen to the show once in a while. I promise you that. If you use the food database and at least discover what you're eating, you probably could save a bunch of money on supplements, if nothing else. And you'll also discover what you're not getting enough of, and you can fix that. Okay, so tomorrow's Thursday. We normally do Military Fitness Radio, but we're doing Military Fitness Radio on Friday because I've got to travel tomorrow. So we will have Military Fitness Radio on Friday. No show tomorrow. Thank you for listening today, and we'll see you soon.